Hi everyone, my name is Andy, and in this video I will show you how I created this composition with Jack Daniel's bottle. I will mostly focus on lighting in this video and will show you different lighting setups being used to create the final image. Please keep in mind this is not an in-depth tutorial, but rather kind of walkthrough video to show you the whole process. So let me show you the basic setup. So I have a few area lights here, this one and that one. They are almost positioned on the same axis, as you can see from the top. And also I have an HDRI. Let me switch to shader editor and then world. This is simple HDRI from HDRI Heaven. So let me show you how it looks like. If I go to render mode and then let me turn off transparent. So that's how it looks like. These two light sources basically create more volume and definition for the fabric. Let me turn off and I'm going to switch back to camera view. And if I just let me turn on overlays. So if I turn off this light source and that one, you'll see the difference. So here's how the scene looks only with HDRI. It's quite dark. So if I turn this light source, it creates highlights on the fabric and on the other side as well. And basically HDRI just fill in shadows in these areas, like here and here. The second setup has been made specifically for the bottle. As a light source behind the bottle, I use a plane with emission and color ramp nodes. So let me show you. If I go to shader editor, I choose the plane. Here's the emission and color ramp nodes. And basically, let me switch to render mode and I make this plane visible for the camera. So go to object properties and choose camera. And I switch back to camera view. So as I move the sliders, the gradient on the plane moves as well. And that allows me to precisely control the light pattern for the bottle. Also, there is a small blocking card here around the cap. Let me show you. If I go back to 3D viewport, and then here it is. It's also invisible for the camera, as I don't need it to be visible, obviously. So if I zoom in closer, you will see that it divides this thick highlight by two, and it looks more appealing and elegant, at least for my eyes. What do you think about this detail? Does it look any better with this little trick? Let me know in the comments. To create the glowing effect, I built this setup with two area lights. And I made the whole bottle invisible except the liquid inside it and gave it in emission mode. If you go to shader editor and then make this part visible, so as you can see, here's liquid. And if you make the whole bottle visible, it will look like this. Probably I turned off visibility for the camera as well, yeah. But you got the idea, I guess. Also, I slightly colorized the area lights, this one and that one. If I go to light properties, you can see the color is slightly shifted toward bluish tones. Additionally, I've made one more layer with shadow only. I've never used it in the final composition, but I thought it might be interesting for you how I created this. Basically, I simply add shadow catcher option here for this fabric. So if I turn it off, you see that it appears in the render view, and eventually the bottle is not visible for the camera. If I turn it off, it remains in the same place. And if I turn off shadow catcher here, it looks like this. As soon as I rendered all images I need to create the final composition, I imported them into Photoshop as PNG files. So here's the the very first render, and then I started to adjust the glass of the bottle. I made it really dark using the curve adjustment layer, like this. And then I started to work on the bottle. Basically, this is the second render, the bottle only, and here's the mask. I really like this highlight on the top, so I decided to preserve it. So, and there comes a lot of additional adjustment layers, like I made this side of the bottle a bit darker, since there's a shadow on the right, and I added much more contrast to the glass and the liquid. Made the label a bit darker, created highlight on the left using gradient fill tool, masked out this part, made it actually black. And here's the second group. Here's the glowing itself. Here's how it looks like. And then I also bring in more contrast for the fabric and the glowing using such curve, and also added slightly more highlights to this part under the bottle. So that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. As usual, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments and I'll try to do my best to help you. And I'll see you soon.